Hello, race fans, and welcome to Disc Golf Daily. We are the podcast that gets you caught up with disc golf in about 10 minutes, saving you time and effort. It's Tuesday, and that means it's Numbers Day at Disc Golf Daily. We've got another week of course growth that is above average, PDGA growth, which continues to be better than earlier in the year, United rankings, which have no shakeups at the top, but some good movement in the top 20, and the DGPT standings and how much they matter coming down the stretch. Let's get into it. We will start with new courses. We had 33 new courses this week. That is the highest of the entire year, breaking the record of 31, which was held maybe a month or two ago. Our average number of new courses each week is 22.9. That is up from 22.4 just a couple weeks ago. We are going to eclipse an average of 23 courses per week. That is phenomenal. Let's talk about who had new courses. The United States had 19 new courses this week. Norway had 5, New Zealand had 2, and Finland, Sweden, Germany, Denmark, Czechia, United Kingdom, Colombia, and Zambia each had 1 new course. Now, what does that mean as we talk about total courses? At the beginning of the year, as we know, we had just over 15,000 courses. This week, we have 15,856, and we are headed towards 16,291. That is an 8.5% growth rate year over year. Well done, course builders. Now we get into PDGA earnings. This is the top 5 men in the PDGA. Gannon Buhr has already eclipsed $100,000. He just added to it even more at Idlewild. He's at $106,000. Ricky Wysocki is at $73,000. Anthony Barella is at $63,000. Calvin Heimberg, $60,000. And Nicholas Antala, $60,000. How about the women? Owen Scoggins leads the way with $52,570. Missy Gannon with $50,000. Holland Handley with $48,000. Kristen Tatar, $46,000. And Evelina Salonen, $42,750. Pretty darn impressive. Who earns the most money per event, you ask? That would be Gannon Buhr, earning $4,400 per event. Kristen Tatar, $4,100 per event. Ricky Wysocki is at $3,600 per event. And then it drops off a little bit to Evelina Salonen, $3,050, and Calvin Heimberg, $3,046. There you go. So if any of these people step onto the tee at a Disc Golf Pro Tour tournament, they are probably going to earn over $3,000. Pretty good work for a nice weekend. The FPO cash line at the LWS Open at Idlewild was 945. The average for the year is 935. So very well done, LWS Open. On the men's side, the rating needed to cash was 1015. The average for the year is 1016.5. So a little bit below average, but not bad at all. And seriously, shooting 10-15 golf just to get last cash. Ouch. When we compare last year's top 20 earners to this year's top 20 earners, in 2023, so far this year, so far in 2023, $720,000 had been earned by the top 20 PDGA earners. In 2024 so far, we're at $930,000. After Worlds, there's a good chance this is going to be over $1 million for the top 20 players, which means the top 20 players are averaging $50,000. That is insane. And we're still in August. We're still in August. PDGA approvals, we're closing the gap. We're down to 23% behind. At this point in 2023, there had been 201. At this point in 2024, there's been 154. That includes discs and baskets. PDGA events. At this point in 2023, there had been 7,111 events. And at this point, and so far this year, at this point as well, 7,235 events, almost 2% higher, which is great because throughout the course of the year, we've been pretty much neck and neck with 2023. Just over the last month, we've seen an uptick, and we're now almost 2% ahead of 2023. When we look at the number of people playing in these events, this was also up to 8% behind probably a month or two ago. Now it's not even 2% behind. There have been 416,000 PDGA rounds played at this point through 2023, and there have been 409,000, actually closer to 410,000 in 2024. Well done. Keep going to those PDGA tournaments, and let's see if we can beat 2023 in the number of rounds played. Yesterday, assuming you're listening to this today for you, which would be Tuesday, PDGA number 292804 was issued. We are less than 8,000 away from 300,000. Last year, as we know, we had about 137,000 members at the end of the year. Right now, we are trending to 131,650. That is a drop of nearly 4% over where we were last year. Podcast, we've talked about how that's not actually as bad as it seems. United rankings. Let's talk United rankings. Who is number one in the world on the men's side? It is Gannon Burr. He has 80 points in the United rankings. Ricky Wysocki with 60. Chris Dickerson, Calvin Heimberg, and Ezra Robinson are tied with 10 points for third place. That is impressive and maybe a little surprising if you didn't see Chris Dickerson or Ezra being up that high. They've earned it. The United rankings on the women's side. Kristen Tata, 40 points. Owen Scoggins and Missy Gannon at 30 points. Owen moved up from third to a tie for second. Holland Handley, 20 points. She's in fourth. Evelina Salonen, 15 points. She is in fifth. Now, when we look at in the top 30 on the men's side, who has improved the most from last week to this week? And the answer is Greg Barsby, who gained 10 spots and is now ranked 25th in the world. Luke Taylor gained 7 spots. He's now ranked 24th. Andrew Marweed gained 5 spots, and he is now ranked 15th in the world. And Joel Freeman gained 3 spots, and he is ranked 11th in the world. And basically what that means is if you're playing fantasy, these are guys who are playing better than their ratings right now. And on the women's side, these 4 players each moved up 1 spot. Holland Handley moved from 5th to 4th. Natalie Ryan moved from 7th to 6th. Ella Hansen moved from 10th to 9th. And Haiti Lina moved from 11th to 10th. And there you have it. All right, the thing that I want to close with is the Pro Tour standings and why it matters as we get down to the end of the season. The Tour Championship is the richest event in disc golf each and every year. This year, they've modified the format to be more in line with golf's FedEx Cup, I suppose it's called. If you are first in the season in Tour points, you start the final tournament, which is the Tour Championship, at -10. If you are second in Tour points, you start at -9. Third is -8. Fourth is -7. You start the tournament 7, 8, 9, 10 down. And all the people who you are better than are anywhere from 1 to 9 strokes behind you to start. So it is a heavily weighted tournament, and it's weighted based on Tour points. So Tour points matter a ton. If you are in 5th through 8th, you start at 6 down. And that's where I want to focus, is 1st through 8th. But realistically, You get down to 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the interesting ones. So we're going to look at the men's side here. And as we can see, Gannon Burr leads. He has 1,211 points. Ricky Wysocki, 1,122 points. He's basically 90 points behind. It is going to be difficult to catch unless Gannon lays an egg. But who knows? Ricky could do it. Nicholas Antala is at 992. Calvin Heimberg has been steadily gaining on him. He's currently at 958 points. Those are your top four. They'll get 10, 9, 8, 7 strokes off. However, Anthony Barella and Ezra Robinson are they're within 100 points of Calvin Heimberg. They could close that gap. And then when we look at 7, 8, 9, 10, this is where it gets exciting to me. These guys are on the bubble of that -6 and -5. Kyle Klein is 7th. Paul McBeth is 8th. So currently, Paul McBeth has -6 points going into the Tour Championship. Isaac Robinson is just 25 points behind him, and Chris Dickerson is just 50 points behind him, having probably the best quiet season in the history of disc golf. And there you have it. So the guys that I'm watching in these tournaments lately are Kyle Klein, Paul McBeth, Isaac Robinson, and Chris Dickerson. They are fighting for those 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. And every stroke matters when it comes to the Tour Championship. All right, now let's do the same thing on the women's side. In first, we've got Missy Gannon, who's got 1,150 points. We've got Owen Scoggins just 30 points behind her. We have Holland Handley just 30 points behind Owen. And we have Evelina Solomon just 40 points behind Holland. In my opinion, any one of those four could win the Tour Championship, could win the point series. And remember, every position that they gains them an extra stroke in the Tour Championship. Every point, every position matters, especially in the top four. However, right behind them in fifth is Kristen Tata. She's at 977 points, but I think we all know she is going to rack up some serious points at the end of the season. We've got some DGPT Plus events. We've got DGPT playoffs. And I don't know if she's going to get into first, but I would bet she's in the top 3 by the end of the season. Ella Hansen, 934. Natalie Ryan, 835. And Kat Murch at 779, rounding out the top 8. Having said that, Henna Blomroos is 3 points behind Kat Murch, and Rebecca Cox is just 40 points behind Kat Murch. They are right there when it comes to getting in the top 8. And if I was on the Pro Tour and I had my chops all about me, I'd want to get in the top 8. That does it for us today. If you have any thoughts, news, or opinions, go ahead and share them with us. discgolfdaily@aol.com. Have fun, throw them straight, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hit the thin gap. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really does help us grow.